Hey pals! Welcome to another episode of the Plot Pals podcast.
Welcome to a violent, bloody, angry, destructive, primitive episode about a film that just came to the theaters. That just came to the theaters today.
Yeah.
The name Monkey Man just makes you want to go watch that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because they've recently been making a lot of monkey movies, if you've noticed.
Apes and everything.
Exactly.
What is the other one?
Godzilla versus Kong, this kind of thing. So it just shows people like seeing movies about monkeys.
Yeah, it's just something about like that DNA. Just
They're similar, they're different. And so then the movie is called, Exactly. Who doesn't want to see a movie about their cousin?
About their cousin, yeah,
so
exactly.
You see Monkey Man, and then you see Dev Patel, who you've never seen in action. Well, actually, you have. You have seen him in action, but not like this. Mm-hmm. So you're like, oh my god, this kind of semi-handsome actor, super handsome. This handsome actor is now doing crazy stunts. I kind of want to see this. And then you see the blood, the gore, the revenge.
Yes.
And you see that it's produced by Jordan Peele, this director who's so hot right now. All his horror movies are making billions.
Whoa.
And so you see what he's producing this film, it must be good.
Oh. And then you see that this guy wrote, directed, and performed in this movie.
And produced it too.
Oh, God.
There's no role that he didn't do a little bit of.
I mean, like, it reminds me of Maestro again.
Oh, exactly.
But, like, where's this and where's, like, Brad Pitt? Bradley Cooper.
Where is Brad Pitt?
Where is Brad Pitt? It's Bradley Cooper. But then you see Maestro and then you compare it to this. Like, I don't know. I feel like I really love this one. Mm-hmm. I really love it because it's like a story that he really wanted to tell, and it took him 10 years to do it.
Oh, the sad thing is, same thing with Maestro. It's a story he really wanted to tell.
9 years!
But we judge him. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, you just gotta see what's different about Maestro and Monkey Man. They both start with M as well. They both came out this year by actors who became directors. But one we judge so much.
Yes.
And one we love.
I don't know, some Asian bias. Probably.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll definitely go into like an analysis of why one is better than the other. But in the meantime, I want to go back and watch this movie again because it's so intense.
Okay, we're not usually into action movies.
This is
like bloody knuckles, bruised faces. Going after that, no, thank you.
Exactly.
The last time I watched action movies was Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan, but apparently, they actually inspired this guy to also make this movie. So he was really inspired by Bruce Lee's style, which makes sense.
No wonder you like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, he's taking from the greats, so that's good.
Right.
The last time I remember liking an action movie was probably John Wick Part 2 or something like that.
I see.
But then they went and made so many.
Apparently, they had like a producer or something from that movie.
I think so.
That they lost?
Oh, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
And they wanted to get the stunt people who did John Wick 2, but because of COVID, they couldn't.
Okay, so they filmed it during COVID, and it was like during pandemic, and they were like 500 people, like in a bubble, they say. Why? In a bubble?
Biggest bubble, yeah. For years, they're blowing it. Finally, it's big enough.
Exactly, and then they're having they're getting married. They get together, like they
for 9
so
months.
Primal.
They live there.
It's like so somehow.
It's crazy. Like 500. Can you imagine even 500?
They formed their own society.
Yeah, right. They will be so close to each other because of that. Because they share the same stories. Everyone's like, did you see how that guy fell? Ha ha ha. Like everyone knows.
And then this guy also, like Dev Patel, he broke his hand while filming the first fight scene.
That's so crazy. Because there's hundreds of fights. Yes. And then apparently his doctor told him, don't fight anymore.
Yeah, there was like a screw in his hand. Mm-hmm. The whole time, the whole movie, all the fights, he has a screw in his hand.
What the hell? And they say, do you think this is safe? Do you think this is a good idea?
No.
I don't either.
You shouldn't put this much into something like that.
Like, he could have lost his hand. For what? For just one movie?
Yeah. And to think that there was no guarantee that it would have made it into like theaters because it was like a last minute kind of thing. It was supposed to go on Netflix.
That's true.
But then it happened to be like that.
Exactly. But
And
here's the thing,
Universal-
it's like a balance. Like one part is you have to put your heart and soul into a movie, anything it takes, even if it means a broken hand. And then the other part is, what about safety?
Yeah.
You have to follow rules.
More about that. And apparently he broke his toes too.
Oh.
And I broke my toe, and it's so hard. Like, you can't walk at all. You
Oh
think...
my God, that's true.
Yeah.
It's so stressful. Like, I can't even imagine. So here's the thing. We always talk about, oh, wouldn't it be cool if we made a story about this Rumi poem?
Yes.
Or like this 1001 Nights story.
Exactly. The
But he went
Persian ancient kind of like story.
I know, like every culture has these, and you're just
Yeah.
like, it would be so awesome if this was made. But he went and took the story
Yes.
that he was interested in, and he actually wrote it. So that's already so difficult. Then he went and got people to help make it.
During COVID.
Yeah, during COVID, where everyone's like sleeping, depressed,
Yeah.
wondering if they should work out or not, he's out there making this movie.
Oh, man.
And he broke his arms and legs and probably hopes and dreams, everything.
Yes.
And 500 people he's paying, and then he finishes the movie. Now he has to edit it. And oh my God, what a stressful situation.
And then apparently some scenes, because they couldn't get so many cameras in, they had to shot it on iPhone.
I know.
What the fuck?
He was going crazy. He was shooting things literally on a phone to go into the movie. Even they didn't have stabilizers, so he was using a rope. Like, he connected the camera to a rope and they would throw it. So you could get a shot of the camera moving through the crowd.
What the hell?
That's so crazy. And then there was other sequences that he just shot fully later. You know the wallet sequence at the beginning? Everyone's passing the wallet.
Yeah, that's the best.
It's so great. Apparently he shot that way after they'd already shot everything. He just bought a camera, went to India and shot that. Like himself or with like one other person. He just like said, okay,
Just
hand the
hand this
wallet.
camera.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Kevin scene in Home Alone, you know?
Oh,
pass
yeah.
this to Kevin, pass this to Kevin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. All these hands just to get to him.
He is insane. But then maybe you have to be insane to make something great.
Exactly.
Probably you have
It's so
to
impressive.
Be. But then it also reminds me of Birdman movie that we're going to talk about like next week. And in Birdman, it's like basically the future of this guy. So he has this past of Monkey Man. It went huge and everything, imagine.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. You're Birdman. You are a god.
So the Monkey Man is probably like his past now, and then it's huge, and he can never live up to that ever again. Like he can never surpass that.
You think? He's
And
such
then
a
he
good
will
actor.
go insane and
Oh
everything.
God.
Oh
And he'll
man.
put on a play in 20 years.
Yes.
Shoot
In
himself.
Broadway, New York.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Anything is possible.
Exactly.
But it kind of seems like this is the beginning of his career. Because if
Yeah.
if he showed so much potential in his first directed film, there's probably hope.
Oh yes, exactly. And there's so much music too, so it's like a flavored movie. If you go into oh god, we found ourselves like vibing to a dancing even, like
I know.
having so much fun.
So many laughs as well. So you're just sitting there, and every minute something is coming your way that's so engaging.
Right,
Like, you never get bored.
Yeah. And if you want to like kind of like summarize the movie, what would you say exactly is going on?
It's a guy in a lot of pain. He has multiple jobs. He's trying to do something, and
He
you're
has a
wondering
traumatic
what it is.
past.
Exactly. His hands are burnt, like, and he's getting beat up. His job is to get beat up every night.
In a monkey mask. And there are so many fighters that are so experienced and so much better. And he goes against them every night and he fights them.
Meanwhile, he's trying to get another job in a restaurant, like a hotel, and you're like, why are you
Right.
here?
Yeah. At
Because-
first, like, you're kind of wondering, why does he so desperately want to get into that hotel? The specific hotel with, like, a crown on it, like a king hotel.
It's because he's trying to get revenge on this fella who murdered his mother. Like, he deserves to
Yes.
get revenge on this guy. Imagine, okay, John Wick is about this guy whose dog has been killed, and he goes on a quest to retrieve it, like get revenge for the dog.
Yeah.
And I kind of understand, like, if it was my cat, like someone
Yeah.
murdered my cat, like, I would go after them. You know, it makes sense.
Whoa.
But then you consider mother.
A crazy woman. Imagine, like, Marol going after her.
I'll come for you. Watch out. Yeah, exactly. But like the stakes are so much higher for him, this guy, because his mother has been killed.
Exactly. And like he has this past of, repression and all of that. So he's always been repressed, even to this day in his job and in his like in fight clubs and all of that. So it's basically like a fight club, actually, a fight club movie, but in India.
Maybe. Maybe, but also maybe a Fight Club, John Wick, Slumdog Millionaire, all in one.
Bruce Lee. All of that.
That's true.
And then this guy gets there and he tries to like kill the man that wanted to kill, that killed his mother.
And what's surprising here is he immediately tries to kill the guy, and he half succeeds. And this is like 20 minutes in, and you're like, where is the movie gonna go now?
I was like
you already
waiting for it to like stop any moment. After that, I thought that was the climax, but no, it was like the middle of the movie, exactly.
That's
so
true.
it's like really early on, he goes and like attacks the guy, and the police are after him, and he's like so injured, and you're like thinking there's no place that this guy could go to.
Exactly. And everything is against him, as you say, like there you think, oh, it'll be 10 soldiers attacking him, then 20 more come in, then a helicopter, then he's being thrown out the window, and you're like, oh, how far are you to go?
It was like GTA. Have you played GTA?
Yeah.
Oh god, it felt like that.
That's true. You're like, every time something is done.
5-star, everything is like, all the police are after
5-star, exactly. He was on 5-star the whole time.
Yeah.
It was so tough for him. But then, like, it goes to other places that we don't want to even spoil. But he goes through a journey. We don't want to, but we will. And so he goes through a journey in these, like, caves and mountains with other
monks,
probably. Exactly. And he learns things, comes back, attacks.
And so many interesting things happen in this place. Even though people think that's like a really silent part of it, or like not a lot of things happen. But he goes into like his inner journey. But at the same time, it's like he takes off his shirt.
That's the thirst trap part of it.
That's like the plot of the movie. The plot twist. He takes off his shirt.
And they're doing that for the audience, clearly. Like, I love that.
Clearly they do that.
It's so funny that he directed the movie and he was like, now I take my shirt off.
I know.
And then he has other actors in the movie go like, woo!
And then we did that too, by the way. In the movie theaters, like, all the women were like, woo!
As soon as he took his shirt off, I could not stop myself.
And then
I was
like, woo!
I loved it. Because he's ripped, he's handsome, and he's an underdog. Is my favorite kind of character. I really liked it.
We lost it. Like, I was like, there was no need for like all these fights and anything. You could have had a 1-hour movie of you taking your shirt off, stripping, and then fighting this. Oh my god, this like bag of rice. You just do that, and then I will be satisfied. Like, I will watch that movie like twice, 3 times probably.
You know those YouTube videos that's like 10 hours of the song on repeat. It could just be that scene, and I would have watched it so many times. You see, he's actually so handsome. Like, the whole time we were talking.
The whole time we were just thinking. And the photo is like, he's so handsome.
Oh no, he has a girlfriend now.
Oh,
we're sad about it. Oh, we loved it.
Oh my god. The whole time, like, we just came up with compliments, but the only thing we could come up with was, he's hot. He's hot. Oh, he's so hot.
Yeah, he's even hotter, back to back. But he is, and I'm so glad he made this movie to show the world that he is hot. Because now I'm sure other directors will cast him in movies like this.
Oh yeah, that's one of the reasons that he made this movie. It was like nobody casted an Indian person for these kind of roles, because like they say they're always fit for like the funny sidekick character, not the one that actually goes and fights the others, which makes sense. Like, if you think about Asians, like not considering like the Chinese or like Koreans or all that, The others, like Persians, probably wouldn't be like in a fight action like as the main character. Imagine they would just be the funny character.
Yeah, there's always
Indians,
the terrorist
in the
corner. Like, that's the Irani, Dr. Irani.
Exactly. Or like Middle Eastern, that would be their role.
Yeah.
But for this guy, I think we have to go and do that. If we want to make an action movie, we have to do something about it.
That's so true.
And
because actually, he wrote this. He didn't even want to direct it. He was just like, I have a cool idea about this Indian myth.
Right.
Somebody else could direct it for, like I just want to be in it. And then everyone was like, no, this is not our story. We don't know anything about it.
Oh.
How about you write it? So then he writes it and he's like, just take it. And people are like, this is not my thing. It's yours. And so he ended up making it only because nobody else was making it.
Dang.
That's so interesting.
Wow. I mean, it makes sense. Like, if there is some story that is like comes from you, within you, or like from your background, you are the one that should tell it. Like, you shouldn't wait for somebody else to write a story about it and come up with it one day. And you shouldn't also like make other people make it. Like, you gotta go after it and do it for yourself. And then you gotta sell yourself. Again, like this guy, he sells himself fully. Like thirst trap, everything, fight
action
skills.
Sequences, crying.
He's the most handsome man. He made sure he's the most handsome man.
Yeah, every other actor he's hired is shorter.
Exactly.
That's crazy.
What is up with that? But then we go after like Maestro and say like, oh, he tried to make himself look cool. No,
I know, poor guy. He didn't even he made himself look so old and crinkly, and he's like a mean guy. He cheats, so we hate him even in the movie.
Right. And it doesn't help the image of Bradley Cooper at all.
Exactly. That's so true.
Wow.
Well, one thing is why people like Monkey Man more, I think, is because of how much it costs to make it. Like, it costs so little. Someplace I heard that it cost them 10 million to make it. And I know you're thinking like 10 million is probably a lot, but 10 million is the price of like one good house in Toronto. So imagine like one house for a movie. That's crazy, because like if you just imagine him paying 500 people for 9 months, just paying the bare minimum, like just giving each person 200 a day, that's already 16 million.
Whoa!
So that means that he was not even paying, like he was probably paying people very little. They were doing it for love.
Wow.
And imagine like if he was paying people $0, like if everyone did it for free, if he was just giving them food for 9 months, that would be, I calculated this last night, it would be 5 million just to feed the crew. And imagine like another 3 million.
How is that possible? Well, I mean, it's like if you have a family of 500 people.
Yeah, and you have to give breakfast, lunch, and dinner because they're all in a bubble. Like you have to feed them.
Right.
And so if you just count like $20 a day, even just for each of them, it would be that much. And then imagine that doesn't even count the locations. It doesn't count crew payments, transportation.
Apparently, they actually run out of money so much that they couldn't even have tables. In the VIP room. Like in the VIP room, they didn't even have tables. They only had 3 tables, and in the fight scenes in the VIP room, they just had to like shot it from like waist up.
Oh god.
So if somebody threw someone on the table, it would be just, they had only 3, so they would just play around with these things somehow, like.
And it makes sense. I mean, they had almost no money, so I'm glad like they had to work around it somehow. Somehow they made it look really expensive though still. Like when we were watching, we were so impressed.
I know, yeah. The colors look so similar to this, actually. Exactly. It was like throughout the whole movie, this was the palette of the whole thing. Like,
that's right.
Deep green and yellow and red.
And the action was completely believable. There wasn't one moment where I was like, oh, that's a fake fight. That was a fake knife hit. You know, I was never taken out like that.
That's so true. Yeah. But then one criticism that I have is this. It felt claustrophobic. So they had so many close shots, like insane amount, like kind of like you didn't have a sense of the place
at all. Yeah.
Anything like around, even in the rooms, like VIP room or anything, there was like very minimum amount of like wide shots or like a shot.
Exactly.
So why did they do that? I don't like a lot of close shots. It just, even it's on the faces and it's so close that it's just the eyes or like the mouth or like the hands.
I know. You can't even tell what's going on. You're just like, oh, okay, where is this?
It feels like you're in them. Like, I don't know. It's so close. And then there's the shaky cameras. Oh man, shaky cams. Oh,
so shaky the whole time.
You get dizzy.
Yeah.
It's so much. I thought I didn't like them, but apparently most people don't like them. And it was out of fashion, but it came back again with this movie. Why?
Well, you know, shaky cam, like sometimes it's a choice. Sometimes you want it to feel dirty and like, oh, you're there with the characters. But most of the time it's because you don't have the budget to do better things. So I think that's why they were using it so much. And then the thing with close-ups is if you shoot a close-up of my face, anything could be in my background. You can't even see the background. So you could shoot me in this room or any room. And so you don't have to build the whole like hotel VIP room or anything. You just build what you see. That's why like the whole movie, they just went so close because they couldn't afford to build the whole place.
I see.
So I kind of get it. Like if you think about how little money they had, it makes sense, but it is jarring how close it is.
That's so true. And then because like it's a fight action movie, so like if you're this close to them all the time and it's usually like shaky cam and all that, you get dizzy, really dizzy. It's not recommended.
Exactly. And the camera was changing perspective so much. You're like, okay, what's going on? Like, first you're on the ground, then you're in the ice. I don't know. It kind of worked for me.
It did work, but like usually I don't think they recommend that.
Yeah, that's true.
You gotta have one perspective. And that's it, like one point of view.
Exactly. Or like a two at least. You know, not so many. But the thing was, there was so many beautiful shots that it was like, it was giving you candy. Even if it didn't feel like, oh, but the perspective is right or wrong.
Right.
Just like, oh my God, this shot is done. Now it's the monkey face coming out of the water.
Oh yeah.
Now we do turn around everywhere.
Okay, that's the thing. One thing, again, about this movie is that they shot some really beautiful shots, okay? Some beautiful frames that are like, so artistic and magnificent. But then they're like, it's like they know it's a good shot, so they wait on that shot.
Oh.
And they wait.
They just hold on it, you mean?
They wait, yeah.
Oh.
They just show that shot and like, they wait one more. And like, is it enough? No.
Wow, interesting.
Let it be there. Yeah.
What? I loved it though.
It's good, but like they used it a lot. Some of these, for example, the man that is standing, the killer that is standing, which is the police, in front of the fire, and like the fire is going on. Like they use that so much. And there are some beautiful shots, but they like waited on that. It feels like they knew it's a good shot, so we better like capitalize on it.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There was also a lot of the mom and son in that forest area.
Yes.
At the beginning. It was like, oh, keep cutting back to that. All right.
It feel like a stereotypical kind of thing? Because, usually like hero movies have this mother that died, or like this father or some mother, usually, for men. It's all Freud. It all goes back to Freud. But this mother that is like just in the forest, and there's
loving.
Yeah, so kind and loving, and it's just walking. Come on.
Oh, I know. That's true.
And then there's music in the background, and then the mother says some like profound lessons which your mother would never tell. Like seriously, mothers don't tell these stories ever.
That's true. It was my mother. She was like, "Do you think I'm beautiful in this dress?" I'm like, "Yes, mom."
And then we remember that. As our past memories.
Oh,
like,
God.
If we like work really hard and like think back, that's like the earliest thing that we remember.
Oh,
yes.
That's true. But the stereotypes work. Like there were so many stereotypes. I actually wrote down there were so many. Like one of them is there's a sidekick character, the friend, and they become friends, and they like help together. But the sidekick is not as cool as the main character.
Exactly.
There's the damsel in distress, like this woman. You gotta save her. You gotta talk to her and everything. I know
even
they changed it a bit.
Even though she's like a whore and she's
like well, you know what? She wasn't like fully a damsel. At least she wasn't like, come save me. At least she was doing her thing.
Right.
Like she was enjoying. Like she wasn't enjoying it, but she was making money.
Yes.
So that's like a little bit not stereotypical. But then there's like the bad guy who killed the mom, as you say. Like this always happens. The dead mom. There is the hero training montage, and like people going from the basement of a house to the top floor to fight through it. So there were so many stereotypical elements. But because like some other elements worked really well, for example, his acting, the action, the music, the drama, and like that it's an Indian story.
But I think they try to make it look that way because like it's his story and all of that. He made sure that he shines through
Of
all
course.
of this, of course. But the thing is, like, even like the side characters or like the damsel in distress and all of that, they didn't even have that much of an important role.
That's true.
Like, they didn't do anything to like advance the plot or something like that. It was like, it felt like it was all for this main character. Like, this is
true.
everything that we have. Like, that's the
Yeah,
best
you're
one.
right. If one thing could be better, it would be that those little characters would have like their personal goals.
Yes,
more, a little more.
yes. I mean, we were really happy, don't get me wrong, that the woman like didn't kiss that guy.
I know.
Like,
We were celebrating.
thrilled. Yes. I think this guy like awakened some primitive, like primal thing in me.
Oh.
So, like some million-year-old DNA that kind of like popped, you know? Like, you know, like my
The stomach is opening up space now. It's ready.
Exactly, like a, you know, a gorilla, Homo sapien kind of like came out.
Oh, I really hope he comes on the podcast one day. We'll tell
I
him all
know,
this.
yes, exactly. It would be so fun. But then at the same time, these stereotypical things, they kind of make sense because it's an ancient story. It's like a kind of mythical story. So that makes sense. There's got to be these kind of elements in it.
That's true. Exactly.
Symbols and all of that.
And it worked. Like when a story has a like an arc and you feel
Yeah.
for the character, even if it's stereotypical, you still love it. That's why people keep going back to the same stories. Like, oh, I love revenge tales.
Yes.
Some person gets wronged and tries to get
I
back.
love revenge tales too. Yes, exactly. And revolution. So that also had it
That's
as well.
right. Exactly.
And if there's like a Monkey Man 2, there's probably going to be touching on the revolution or something, maybe. I don't know.
Imagine how bad he feels. He worked so hard to make Monkey Man, and as soon as it comes out, people are like, Monkey Man 2, when's it coming out? Work on it. And he's like, I literally worked the last 12 years on this. I want to get a life. You guys just enjoy this. Go support it.
Right.
And people are like, make the next one.
Wow. I wouldn't
That's
worry about
so
that. Let's
bad.
see how it performs. But like,
I'm
in
sure it'll
audience,
perform well.
It's amazing. Like, you got to watch it, but then like the marketing, they have to do still more. Like a lot of more people have to know about it.
Exactly.
Especially since he hasn't been anywhere for the last like 10 years.
That's true.
And he hasn't done anything, so he gotta come back again. But he's been doing so many interviews though.
Recently, yeah, thank God.
Oh God.
Not as many as Bradley Cooper, but he's trying.
No.
You know what's crazy?
Yeah.
One reason, again, that you maybe don't like Maestro as much is because of how much it costs to make Maestro compared to this.
How much?
So this cost 10 million. What would you think Maestro cost? Because you can imagine, like, it's not as many action-packed scenes. There's orchestra and everything. There's
Is it
like
more
actors.
expensive?
Well, I would like you to
Okay.
guess, but like
50 million.
You just imagine 50 million.
I don't even know.
You think 50 million for Maestro when this cost 10 million?
I don't know because like usually movies in Hollywood make like they have a really large budget. Even like imagine, well, Oppenheimer is not a good one.
Right.
Good example.
Oppenheimer is huge.
Yeah,
on
it's
scale.
very huge. But like they usually have a lot of like a large budget. But,
That's true. But this one didn't have that many action pieces. It was just people talking in rooms.
Yes.
Other than the one orchestra.
Right. So how much?
So give me one more guess.
Oh god, I'm so bad at this. All right, 20 mil.
20 mil.
Yeah.
So you think it cost double
Yes.
of this movie?
Just because, yeah.
Even though like it's not as dramatic at all.
Yeah. Just because it's Bradley Cooper, I
I
imagine
know.
him extravagant.
Exactly. Okay, and actually you were kind of close.
Yeah.
It cost 80 million to make
80?
this movie.
Why did you? When I said 50 million, why did you?
Because 50 million is insane.
I
Why would it
know.
cost 50 million? But actually, it costs like double that.
No, that's so
What the hell?
bad.
Okay, the thing is, you have to pay crew. Like
It's all about like
You have to.
pianos and
I know.
like a room and a house. Why?
Exact-
Why?
Like even 20 million, I would say, oh, that makes sense, just because it's a Hollywood. Like you need to pay people
Actors
union
are really
crew.
famous too, by the way.
Exactly,
Yeah.
actors probably get like 5 each. But 80, like where did that even go?
I know.
Bradley, we're watching it. Where's
Money
that money?
laundering and all of that. And they washed the money.
Wow, that's true.
But
then you compare this 10 million to make that movie. Like whatever, I'm sure this movie will make more than 10 million, and then it will be profit.
yes,
Every dollar
yes,
after that.
exactly. But then also imagine the torture they went through. Like why? it's
to make art.
But
piece of
then
art.
also it makes sense because like the theme of the movie is about being poor and rich and like the differences between the classes and how it like poor people live, how rich people treat them. So it's kind of makes sense that they went through this. They had a low budget.
Oh,
They
yeah.
had to like really work through it and all of that. It does help the actors. It does help the theme and
That's so
everything.
true. And they were shut down so many times, just like the main character.
I'm imagining Bradley Cooper making a movie like that, like so out of touch. Imagine Bradley Cooper making a movie about poor people in India. What?
That's
would
true.
Be so insane.
Oh, we're judging Bradley so much.
I know.
He's also
I
an
know.
actor.
Actor.
He's good. Whoever like tells a story that's personal to them, that's
Yeah.
what matters.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
for example, if we're thinking of doing The Godfather soon,
Yes.
and The Godfather, like the director of that film is insane. Like everyone knows him, Francis Ford Coppola. And then his daughter grew
Yeah.
up in like wealth and happiness and success and being surrounded by other filmmakers. So when she went into directing, people were so judgmental. They're like, "Oh, nepo baby, you got everything handed to you.
Right.
Your dad is the best director in the world. You can ask advice, you can get money." But at the end of the day, like it was her actually,
Story.
yeah, her stories. Like even her films are always about these girls who are like growing up in upper class, but they're still like struggling with so many things, and they have to grow up and mature, and like it's hard still. So all of that to say, like if you just tell a story that resonates with you,
Yeah.
like if for Bradley it was this composer story, cheats on his wife, let him do that.
Yeah, because
That's what
like
he's
he
good at.
probably did it too. So
I really loved Maestro,
why do
by
we
the
judge
way.
him by
yeah,
that? Yeah,
I
you're
really
right.
liked it.
You're so right. Why? So judgmental there. Okay.
But we like Monkey Man just a little more because of how we look.
Because you're monkeys.
You said it yourself. It's in our DNA. It's
Yeah,
like
it is.
primal
It's like
thing.
yeah, you know, DNA is like it has everybody's like DNA has these codes and these things, and some of them are like unlocked. So if I don't have a blonde hair, it's because it's like unlocked, but I have it in me.
Oh.
If like you turn it on, it kind of like comes through, or like blue eyes and all of that. So we all have it, and then you think about it, like there is this million-year-old thing that is like in us, all of us, and then this movie kind of like helps it like shine through, you know,
Oh, Lord.
like open, unlock it.
I mean, that's the best advertisement you can hear for the movie. They should put you on every marketing billboard.
I think so.
Explaining
Yes.
DNA.
Oh God, you gotta come on our podcast, Dev Patel.
No, but this is a formal invite.
Yes.
Once we get a more beautiful podcast
Look at our
studio.
posters. Like
See, we got the Monkey Man already.
Yeah. Look at that.
Other men, so many
Other
men.
men everywhere. Oh,
Baby.
there's a woman.
Oh
my God.
Oh, remember, actually, this girl, she threw a red blanket on her, remember?
No.
They were having sex.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, she's having sex out in the open. She's
Right.
in a brothel. But as soon as Monkey Man comes in, she's like, throws it over her. Remember?
No.
And it was red. Oh, no. Maybe I just pay close attention to the sex
Probably.
scenes.
Yeah.
While you look
Oh
away.
God, you exposed yourself now. Man.
We absolutely adore this film, as you
Right.
can tell.
Yes, yes. of
I
course.
wanted to take my family, but you know, like families are against violence usually.
Oh yes. Oh my God. This urge for him to bite. Like some really, really bad scenes, some violent scenes
It's
they
so
were.
sexy.
I'm not gonna say yeah.
He like goes into the other guy's face and starts biting his nose off.
Or like, I don't know, biting their lips. Why? Why would you do that?
Yeah, right. Oh my God! Like in the theater, we were just like covering our areas because we were like,
I
oh, no, not the
know.
neck,
No.
not the teeth. But they would keep going.
You were sitting like this, actually, I think, on the seat, right?
Yeah, I was like,
But then,
that was tough. Yeah.
it felt like he was a vampire or something. Probably has to work like the next movie should be a Dracula or something like that.
Ooh.
That would be so
We would watch
cool.
that. If you remember, for our Dracula episode,
Yeah.
we were wondering who we should cast as Dracula.
Oh my God!
Dev Patel is the one.
Yes, and it's so Vogue too. He's a brown person being Dracula. So new.
Oh my God, let's do it. Let's write that quick. Or
Netflix.
You know, Netflix dropped this movie, by the way.
Yeah.
They were gonna make it, and then they were like, "Fuck you! Like, you already made the movie. Go die." And then, thank God, Jordan Peele came in and
Oh my.
saved.
Oh yes, exactly. Thank God, Universal and all of that took over, and now it's in theaters for everybody to watch. And it's like so violent, as we said again. So even though we were laughing in the violent scenes, it's not funny to do that. Don't do this.
I know.
Why are you so violent?
Put your knives
Stop
away.
the violence. Yes.
The cycle ends here. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Like, people would just knife everything. It was like not even, no pain is registering. Somebody got axed in the neck. That was the most intense part of the movie
Why would
for
you
me.
show that actually?
Bro was just moving the axe around like this and it hit someone in the neck. Oh God. And he was the owner of that business too. Imagine. Why would you throw the axe around in your own workplace?
Not the capitalist. No.
That was tough.
Oh God. Wow. It was so rough and so bad, and like as you say, like, they don't register pain. I don't understand. Like, they would get stabbed everywhere and still they would like continue on going.
Like, imagine if me and you were fighting and a paper just hit my hand and got a paper cut. Like, stop! I need a break. I'll be like, don't talk to me again.
Yeah.
Go suck the blood and like try and fix it. Meanwhile, these guys are getting and they just say, huh, and they keep going.
Exactly. Wow.
Bro.
Oh my God. I don't watch violence at all. Like, I have such a delicate constitution. It is not good for my nerves to watch such movies. But then again,
An exception is to be made.
an exception, yes. Even if you have a delicate constitution like me, go watch
Try
this
it out.
movie.
Especially with like a group of people or with friends. It's so fun because then you can like
Laugh.
keep joke around. Yeah, laugh. It's the best. Like, I had the best time.
Yeah.
Say it. Say you had the best time too.
I had the best time ever. Oh God. She's gonna beat me if I don't say that. Actually, I really want to do an action kind of like. I wonder how it goes. Like, how do you do and how do you act in these action movies?
We should do it. Let's do it right now. Okay, slap me.
Oh, we remembered it in the theaters. Sorry, like the acting classes.
Okay,
Like
go
that.
for it. Is it this way? Why would you do that? I'll slap you back then. No, wait, let me
No,
let me
wait,
slap
we
you
gotta
again,
do
girl.
a soap opera kind of thing, like dramatic.
Well, I don't think...
Bollywood. Like, we gotta put a song here, like,
Don't talk to me.
close up of the eyes.
Don't look at my husband. 1S again. Never.
I did not. Oh,
Bitch. Walk away.
And then, boom, 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 boom.
That's true.
So good. Telenovela or something.
I don't even know. Is that the Indian movies or the Turkish movies that do that?
Turkish don't do that. It's Bollywood and like Spanish Latin movies, like
Oh, right.
telenovelas and all that.
That's so good. The close-ups.
Yeah, I guess for women, if you want to have an action movie, it's gotta be something like dramatic like that. Women like slapping each other.
Oh, you know
no,
what would
no.
be good? Like pulling the hair.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna
wonder
use
if
this
you put your
footage one day when we're rich and famous, and then say she abused me.
That's right. If you don't do the podcast editing today, I will pull your hair, girl. See, this is the way I abuse my
this
partner.
is good acting. Sign me up.
Yes, exactly. The next Monkey Man, guess who's gonna be in it?
Monkey woman. Monkey Monkey woman.
Monkey women. Monkey girls. Will be in
That
it.
would be such a hit. Imagine like
I think so
I
too.
think so too, yes. Imagine like a bunch of women just like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and guess what? 2001 is also coming. 2001 A Space Odyssey,
Yeah,
which
in
is also
theaters.
about monkeys. So
Kubrick again remade it.
exactly.
It's out.
Yeah, hopefully you watch that, and we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Exactly.
So, any final thoughts on the magnificent movie that was Monkey Man?
Oh yes, I wish I knew more about the mythical story itself. It was so interesting for me to learn about it. I'm now so interested in India and
That's right.
well, it's many cultures and like all of that. And one line that I loved in the movie was, "We do not." Oh, they said there are Muslims here and there are Hindus and all Indians that worship different gods, and maybe even a Christian somewhere here.
In the closet.
Yeah, in a closet. But then we all worship one god, and that is the Indian rupee. Ooh,
That's great.
Indian rupee.
I didn't know what that meant in
Money.
the theater. Yeah, exactly. And I just looked over at you and I saw you nodding. I was like, okay, I'll pretend I know what's going on. But now I get it. I get it.
Wow, it took you like this much time to
Indian rupee. I just didn't know the currency name.
Oh, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so they all worship money. They have only one god, even though Indians are infamous for having so many different gods that they worship. It's just one god that everybody worships all around the world, and that is money.
Exactly. And even this guy who said he was a monk, devoted to God, devoted to not hurting anyone, he was eventually seduced by money.
Incredible. Corrupt people exist everywhere, especially in Asia. Oh man, in Iran, in India, and it's so hard to fight these people, but once you do, like Georgia could fight its corruption, but then soon enough, once there's neglect, again, corrupt people come in and take charge of the country. So always you got to be alert everywhere. That's one thing. And then what else do we
revolutionize? You've got to go kill those people.
That's
the
what
message
I didn't
of the
like.
movie.
Yes, that's what I didn't like about it. Why? Okay, even if this guy went and killed these people, there's like nothing that's going to happen after that. Because there are just so many more rich people. And like if you want to get rid of this inequality, you got to go from the root of the problem. What is the root of the problem? Not just a person or two.
Exactly.
Or not the guards. What's the point of killing the guards?
So many guards died for no reason. Like more guards will just come and
those
take
are also
that job.
poor people. Like you had a kind of job like that too.
Exactly.
So
that's so true.
Like what's
those
the
guards
point?
died for no reason. And even the chief of police who killed his mom.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's just one guy. Like he's the chief of police. Some other person is going to become the chief of police.
There's a system of police. Like you got to take over the system. You got to like. That's what should happen. Like if you want to make a change, that's the way to go. Not violence. And that's why probably like it just shows the primal thing about men fight like that if they're like furious about something, and women usually go and gossip. They use their tongues.
Right.
Which is like so much more impactful. If there was like a monkey woman movie and imagine the father of the
Madame
girl.
Monkey.
Madame Monkey. That's so beautiful. Oh no, not Madame Web. Oh God, no, it's not gonna be like that. But like so beautiful. Madame Monkey makes so much sense. So this woman, her father probably died and was killed. And then this girl, okay, I don't want to spoil my story. We're gonna make this movie. And then this girl goes and kind of like goes into the corrupt system. Like goes into it and tries to take over, like tries to destroy each person one by one, the system, like slowly by turning them against each other and doing that. Like you gotta like get in there. Exactly. Violence is not the answer, really. Like it's not.
I think that's why he died or collapsed at the end, because even Dev Patel doesn't think this is the right answer.
Right.
But just this guy, Monkey Man, decided to do that. He killed himself and like 2 other people. Took them down with him.
Right. Exactly.
But it's not enough. Get into the Madame Monkey's mindset. Infiltrate instead of just using violence.
That's true. Yeah. Become one of them. Like, right. If they go low, you go lower.
Exactly. So check out Monkey Man in the theaters and let us know what you think. I'm definitely going back again. So if I see you there, I see you there.
And you've been brainwashed for so long. We're not these civilized animals anymore. We are monkeys. Okay, go back in there and like get into your zoo. You're like your primal. Let yourself be free in that world.
That's right. Seriously, cinema is the place to let these emotions come out.
Exactly.
You sit there in the dark and you think these dark thoughts and like you enjoy the violence, but then you come back and you become a part of society. So try it.
You put your mask on after you come out of the
God.
theater, and then
That's such a good Halloween costume, by the way. The monkey
yes, probably we could have that.
mask. We should
And
try
then
and
Madame
find...
Monkey.
Exactly.
Madame Monkey.
coming
Madame
up.
Monkey has a mask of a monkey, but she wears like the Marie Antoinette.
That's great. Oh, I got the picture immediately. Okay, perfect.
That's so amazing. Okay.
Thank you. So see you on YouTube. And next week we're doing Birdman. What an exciting film about an
Yes.
artist's tough time. Life is hard for this guy.
Exactly.
And we'll keep doing amazing movies that have moved us week by week. So we'll see you on YouTube.
And also the movies that moved you as well.
Let
Please
us
let
know.
us know about this. Thank you so much for watching this
Thank you.
episode and take care. Bye.
Bye. See you on the next one.